Red Lanterns number 10, written by Peter Milligan, art by Miguel Sepulveda. This technically picks up from Stormwatch number 9, so check that out if you haven't already. And I guess I'll just get this out of the way first. There's a framing device. It bookends the issue. It's very short. It's like 3 pages total, where Jack Moore, I believe his name was, is just getting the crap kicked out of him by all the Red Lanterns. Bleez steps in, tears him apart, saying, like, enough, we have to save our energy. And then goes to Jack and is just like, hey, I'm not going to be here to save you all the time. And he's like, well, we may not be here tomorrow anyway, so what are you even saying here? And she's like, hey, enough of that defeatist crap. Man up. Then the rest of the issue happens, and then in the back half, or at the very back few pages, they get to the Star Sapphire planet, which is where they were heading the whole time. Jack is once again about to get jumped by the other Red Lantern members, but he gets so pissed off that he makes a construct of a gun and just starts shooting people with it in the Red Lantern group. And when he's finally like stopped, everyone's just looking at him like, yeah, man, respect. So then they all go down on the planet, and he's like, okay, but that didn't really feel like I was human. That felt like I was a monster. Maybe I am now totally Rancor. So, yeah, that's the framing device. Anyway, the issue as a whole follows Atrocitus and Dexstar, who are just making their way through the universe, looking for a business, and he's like, wait a minute, hold on. I feel a warped Red Lantern signature. Probably a business. He's a very warped guy. But it's like right here in front of me, but I can't see anything. It must be hidden, like, in a different, like, it must be hidden behind the fabric of space itself. So I'm going to get so angry, I'm going to burn space itself, which he does. Seems a bit over the top, but regardless, he breaks through space and ends up coming through a portal on the other side where he comes to Stormwatch HQ. Stormwatch, who just took in Skalox and has been dealing with his Red Lantern ring, they're doing tests on it and whatnot, trying to figure out what's going on with it. And then Martian Manhunter points out, something's beating up the outside of our ship. And we cut to Atrocitus, who's just tearing his way inside. And everyone's like, oh, geez. Oh, God. Okay, someone, Apollo, Midnighter, and Martian Manhunter, go fight that thing. We got to take him out before he destroys the ship. And we see Skalox's eye open up, and he's waking up as well. Atrocitus, meanwhile, breaks inside the ship. He scans to find out what's going on in here and where the Red Lantern energy is, to which a portal opens up right in front of him, and out comes Apollo, Midnighter, and Martian Manhunter, who immediately blast him with all they've got, and it still isn't enough. Like, Atrocitus just burns them and throws them through walls and whatnot. And he's just knocking them out and only getting stronger because they keep pissing him off. By the way, I love the way that Miguel Sepulveda does Atrocitus's look. Like, before this, he always had, like, this curved, like, sort of, it didn't feel like he was that threatening. Here he looks just terrifying, and I love it. So they engineer and whatever the name of the dude who can talk to cities is. I'm never going to remember that. They're trying to get the ship to basically stay alive while Atrocitus is literally tearing it apart, and the rest of the team is still fighting up after them. But then they see that Midnighter has disappeared. He's not with the team anymore. And it turns out that he saw Dexstar, like, out of the corner of his eye. So he's now in a one-on-one fight with a cat. Dexstar lunges after him. Midnighter punches Dexstar in the face and then just grabs him by the scruff of the neck and says, like, this is Midnighter. I've punched a cat. I love it. It is a perfect panel. Mwah. So Atrocitus is beating up Apollo, Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter tries to connect to him telepathically in order to let him know, like, hey, we don't know what in the hell an abysmus is, dude, so chill. And as he connects telepathically, he sees all of Atrocitus' history and rage and whatnot. The Manhunters came in, blew up his planet, killed all of his family, and now he's angry at the Guardians and angry at the Green Lanterns because they work for the Guardians. And then Abysmus poisoned their Red Lantern battery, and then he threw us off Martian Manhunter. And Manhunter doesn't quite take that well. Like, he's having a couple, like, waking nightmares because of all that crap that just happened. But he realizes, like, okay, hold on. maybe you're not with Abysmus, but there's definitely a power ring here. Do you have one of my lanterns captive? And we see at that point the Red Lantern ring breaks out of stasis, goes back over to Scalix, to which Scalix then busts through one of the walls to Atrocitus, and he's like, I will have my revenge! You've taken my hand! How dare you! So then everybody just kind of like separates out. Engineer throws up a doorway. Scalix just jumps right through it without thinking. And then Engineer just talks to Atrocitus and is just like, look, you're free to go. We don't have your guys. We're not going to hurt you. You are clearly too low on energy to fight us. Just go our separate ways. This crossover is done. And Atrocitus is like, fair enough. But one day I will have my energy and I will be back and I will have my vengeance. And he leaves. And Apollo's like, shouldn't we have killed him? Like, I'm pretty sure that he's a super threat. And Engineer's like, look, based off of what John is saying, he's going to die. Like, he's definitely not got any energy left to do any of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm not that worried about him. So then we see 3 light years across the galaxy. Atrocitus and Scalix are talking. Dexter's just thrown through the portal afterwards. And he's like, yeah, that fight really shouldn't have happened. We wasted energy that we did not have. Oh, well, regardless, we will make our way now to find Abysmus for reals. And then we see the people of Stormwatch are analyzing what the ship managed to pick up about Atrocitus. And they're like, okay, here's the thing. Yes, we almost lost, but now we can analyze it and possibly crack how to defeat them and eradicate them along with all the other Lantern Corps if they ever become a big enough threat. And then the ending bit, like I said, of Rancor and whatnot. So that's it. I like it. I really like the art. I cannot overstate how much Miguel Sepulveda was made to draw Atrocitus. Like, it's such a it makes it, this entire core especially, but it's like Atrocitus is just so much scarier. Plot-wise, it was just the thing. They're both the writer-artists on both books. Like, yes, this crossover was bound to happen. It was written as soon as they were given the job of both these books at the same time. Do I think it was necessary? No, but it had enough setup. It set it itself up well enough of, okay, Stormwatch deals with alien threats against Earth. Red Lantern came to Earth. Like, over both books, it was set up well, and it felt like it made sense from a story perspective. That being said, I feel like it kind of wrapped up a bit too quick. I feel like Engineer just coming and being like, okay, crossover done, goodbye. Just seemed a bit too easy. But overall, I'm going to give this one a 7.5. If only, you know what? I'll give it an 8, and the extra 0.5 there is specifically for the page where Midnighter punches Dexstar. Not because I approve of the cat being punched in the face, but just because it is such a funny, perfectly written scene. So, 8 for this. Give me more.